I think one thing, Whatley, you and I have talked about, repair estimating is more difficult than mitigation estimating. There are 2,000 water mitigation related line items that people use on an everyday basis. There are 10,000 repair line items. So even though you can find know that it exists and know how to find it as a resource when estimating, it still takes time and practice to develop that mastery. So it's just, there's somebody out there, Whatley, that's going to hear, oh, you can take a 19-year-old and turn them into an estimator. And they're like, BS, not real. You can't do that.
Well, you can if you cross-train, like you talked about earlier. That's how you solve it. And that's what we train to. We talk about the checklist that you developed.
Yeah, we have a peer review checklist that we often incorporate into private training engagements, something that we develop with the group, like all the estimators that we're training. They decide what they want in their checklist. And the idea is the junior estimator, let's say, writes the estimate. Then they will provide their estimate, a Matterport scan, and that checklist to a senior. A senior will review the scans and go through the checklist to make sure that everything is included in the estimate that it should be. Not only are the seniors finding things that are helping that contractor capture all the warranted line items and getting paid fairly, they are learning from what the junior wrote. The junior is learning from what the senior provided feedback on. And then you continue to flip that exercise so that the senior writes the estimate and the junior reviews it. If you want to take it a step further, change the teams every 3 to 6 months, right? Continuously have new juniors with new seniors, or peer-to-peer. Doesn't always have to be junior to senior. It could be two excellently qualified estimators reviewing each other's work. But without structure around that review, without things like a Matterport scan, better than photos, in my opinion, to be able to look at a full job and immerse and walk through it.
Yeah, for sure.
It's impossible. Have somebody ever asked you, hey, take a look at my estimate, see what I missed?
Well, right? It's not going to work unless you align their interest around their compensation. So what we used to do at KIC is we would say, all right, if we're going to give up 5 points to the estimator on this job, the individual who reviews that sheet, they participate of that 5 at, say, 1.5 points, right? And so you align the interest, because everybody's busy. Right. Mm-hmm. Chris, nobody wants to read your sheet just to read your sheet. Right. That's going to be cool for like a week.
Right. And then once.
Yeah, that's never going to happen again. But if you could say like, hey, man, if you review this sheet, you're going to make an extra $900. Like all of a sudden that becomes interesting. And then as the owner, this is how you create systems where you continue to be less and less necessary to the outperformance of the business each and every day. Feeds on itself.